I want to tell a little story, and this story is on the topic of what are we losing in the name of convenience? What is the cost of convenience? What is the cost of modern conveniences? I think that we embrace a lot of the conveniences that come our way as a culture and as a society. I remember when the iPhone was first introduced, I want to say back in 2009, 2010, there wasn't anybody asking the question, what will be the consequences? What will be the cost, the cost benefit analysis? What is the cost associated with this type of investment? Something is just falling from the ceiling. Thought it was Santa Claus. Come in early in July. We're working in a studio right now, and it's amazing. So I want to tell you about my friend Joanne at King Soopers at Constitution in Colorado Springs. Joanne and I don't know each other incredibly well, but we see each other probably every day, multiple times a day, because I feel like I'm at King Soopers 19 times a day, that particular Constitution. So if you're a federal agent or if you don't like me and you're looking for me, you will find me at the King Soopers at Constitution. Probably at least a 30% chance anytime you walk in that place. Joanne works there. Joanne is an elderly woman. She's probably in her, I want to say maybe early 70s. She's 5'2". She's got a long braided gray hair, and she shuffles around the store near the self checkout section. And her job, allegedly, what it looks like is, to catch the thieves. Now, I love Joanne. I just don't think she's going to be very effective in chasing down any shoplifters, considering her age. But she's there nonetheless, and she's always humble. She's got a sweet spirit, and she is always saying hello to me. And I remember when I was with my children, two of my children at the time, and we were getting supplies for Fourth of July, and she said, "Happy Fourth of July, and to you and your family." And it just that "to your family" part call me wussy, but I just felt that. I felt her goodwill and her good nature. She is a relic of the past, and that's what I would title this rant is Joanne is a relic of the past, because I do remember a time when I was a little guy. I'm 44, so this is, call it, the mid to late 80s. I'm 7, 8, 9 years old, tagging along maybe in the summertime with my mom, going to the grocery store. 1988, 1999 grocery stores, especially the neighborhood grocery store, let's call it Stater Brothers, which is a staple in Southern California. We would go to the Stater Brothers, and I remember my mom would always somehow, I don't know if this was intentional, but she would always end up at the exact register with the exact same cashier. And this cashier knew my mom by name. "Hey, Marianne, good morning. How are you? Hey, does he want a lollipop?" And, I'd always get like a sucker. And, she would be there, and they would be talking and having a conversation as if two friends that, hadn't seen each other in a couple days were just catching up. And beep, beep, beep. How's Tom? How's your other son? What are the plans for the summer? What are you doing? The cashier at the grocery store knew my mom by name, knew her personal life, and I feel like I need to explain this in 2025, because I think there's so many young people that aren't even aware of a time in America or in society where something as ordained or ordinary as going to the grocery store was an experience in relationships. And today we're at these self checkouts where the name of the game is convenience. How quickly can I get through that line? And I get that. I am the biggest hypocrite, allegedly, because as much as I want to sit here and talk about all these wonderful things, I will look for the self checkout section because I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to stand in line. Sadly, I don't want to make small talk. And that's how I view it. Perhaps I've been captured by the system, and I've become what I've been wanting to avoid. And going back to, being a little guy in the 80s, interestingly, my mom would have a basket full of groceries overpouring with the bottom section, completely filled with toilet paper for like $120. She'd pull out her checkbook and just write that, $117 check. And there was nobody henpecking behind her. There were people creating conversations in line I remember instances where people would get out of line, tell the person behind them, kind of like hold my spot to go talk to somebody else in another section of the store because there was community. People knew each other by name. People were okay with socializing. People were not in a rush. People were not looking for the fastest option out of the store, the tap to pay, no receipt, skip the pin, don't look at the person in front of me. This is the world that we live in today. And I just wanted to end this by saying, what have we lost? I think we've lost Joanne, in this fast pace race towards the bottom of convenience and modernization. And I think this principle can be applied throughout our day and throughout society. And I think I want to ask the question and spur the conversation. What have we lost in the name of convenience? What have we lost in the name of speed and modern the modern technology that we've found ourselves in every aspect of our lives? So I just want to end this by saying maybe Joanne is the pathway forward. Maybe we need to return to some of these roots of just connecting with people and not being in such a rush and being okay with the stillness and the mundane. That's it. Shout out to Joanne. Love you guys. Peace.